Welcome to another episode of The Imperfect Prophet with me, your host, the Wonder Wendy. Drinking a warm beverage this morning. I'd like to have a little something of coffee. We've discussed that before. Today it's eggnog because we're in a festive mode. And I'll leave it to your imagination whether it is plain or spiked eggnog. But you've known me long enough now that I bet you're betting on it being a spiked eggnog, and you could be right. So it's festive time. We're enjoying, we're celebrating. Oh, but then there's that eye on the future. Do you have your eye on the future? Are you realizing that in not too many days, it's going to be 2025? 2025. Does that blow your mind the way it does mine? If you are a person of a certain age, like me, you may remember certain landmark years in your life, times when you thought, wow, how did we ever hit that number? 1984. George Orwell had been talking about what that would look like for decades. And the 1984 I experienced was definitely not what Orwell had forecast, although some of his prophecies have come true. And then 2000, oh my gosh, were we going to live through Y2K? The fear was so real. We were going to party like it's 1999 and pray that there was a year 2000. When that clock ticked 2000, were you in a room full of people who held their breath? I have a friend who tells a story about being at a New Year's party where there were so many tech people that the room emptied at about 10:30 because everybody wanted to be back at their computers if the world went to hell at midnight because of Y2K. So we've been through all these landmarks, and I do remember being a little kid thinking the year 2000 was so far away and saying to my father, do you know how old I'll be in 2000? I was young enough, they made me sit down and do long math. We write out 2000 minus the year I was born, all four digits that start with a 19, because I was born in the last millennium. And coming up with the math that I would be 34 in 2000. And I remember exactly what I said to my father. Do you think I'll live to be that old? Here we are, rolling into 2025, 25 years after the date that I didn't think I'd live to be that old. And trust me, if you lived with me through college, you'd probably be surprised I'm still alive today too. But thank God all of that was before social media. So there's not much in the way of proof. It's my word against yours, what really happened. So anyway, new year, looking forward. And I want to give you another challenge. I know I've challenged you before. I've challenged you to get out of your house. I've challenged you to get up and move. I've challenged you to make friends because I think all of these things will make your life better. They have mine. And now I want to share with you another secret of making your life better. When I moved to Phoenix, it was to retire. Did I ever think my life would explode the way it has? No, not in any way, shape, or form. And we decided we wanted to know a little bit more about our community. We went to an event hosted by the mayor of Scottsdale, and it was a state of the city address. It was a lovely luncheon. And I ended up meeting this incredible woman who's very well known here in Phoenix, like really well known. And just on the off chance she doesn't want me dropping her name, she knows who she is. I don't need to say her name. But she decided she was going to let me know what was happening around town and what I should be involved in. And I started getting regular emails from her. Here's a great event. You should try this out. Here's a great event. You should try that out. It was the beginning of a calendar year. I'm not even sure exactly what year, whether it was 2017, 2018, somewhere in that range. And if she sent me a message saying, you should try this, I started my year of yes. If I could fit it in my schedule, if I could fit it in my budget. And let's also add the caveats if it shouldn't be illegal or immoral, but I know she wouldn't send me anything like that. I would do it. And I found my circles expanding. I found myself making new friends. I found myself involved, invited to join boards. I was having a great time. So I'm going to challenge you to start a year of yes. Now, I'm not saying to literally say yes to everything because it makes you a sycophant. But I would like you to seriously consider saying yes to everything and give serious question to why your first thought was no. If your first thought was no because I don't have anything to wear, then why don't you change that? If your first thought was no because you didn't think you could do it, why don't you learn? This is a great opportunity to learn. If your first thought was no because it's scary, okay, get over that fear, put on your big girl panties or big boy panties, and get out there and do it. Because you know what? The best way to get over fear, and we've talked about this before, is to do it. So if it's not illegal, it's not immoral. Sometimes even if it's a teeny bit illegal, no, I'm not going to say that. Yes, I am. Frankly, I think we almost all break the law a little bit every day? Are you a person who never goes over the speed limit? So consider bending your paradigm just a little bit so that you can experience growth. Because remember, if you're not planning to live, you're planning to die. And that's going to happen anyway. I want you to live a rich, full life. That's why we're talking about all this. How can we help each other live a rich, full life? Honestly, need you to lead a rich, full life. Because if I'm not surrounded by people, if there aren't people supporting me in my life, I'm not sure what the purpose is. I don't want to live a solitary life. That's the plot of several Twilight Zone episodes. People who just wanted to be alone and then they got what they wished for. And usually it was when the world came to an end. And there they were, alone. Remember the one where the guy just wanted some time to read his books? That's all he wanted. And so he wished everybody to go away so he could just read his books. He ended up at the end of the world, found a library in the rubble. He had all the time in the world. Then he broke his glasses and he couldn't read his beloved books. And there was no one to help him get new glasses because he was all alone. So as much as I value my alone time, and I will tell you that can be sacred, and please find alone time for yourself to refocus yourself. We need other people. We need connectivity. So your year of saying yes, start looking at things as opportunities. Try new things. Say yes just because you can. And if you're saying no because there are things that physically stop you, let's throw something out there. A friend calls and says, I'm going to Europe. You want to go with me? You don't have the money. That's real. You can't go if you don't have the money. But what if you say to that friend, that's not my budget right now? Maybe they can find a more affordable trip. Maybe they're in a place to help you. Maybe they're in a place to help you find a scholarship. Maybe, I don't know, there's always ways to look for solutions. Or maybe they can put it off for a year and you can save for a year and go with them on this trip to Europe. So before you say no, give serious thought to why you're saying no. And are you just creating excuses because you're afraid? Fear comes back again. We've talked about it before. It waits. It's under everything. And it keeps you from living your best life. It keeps from saying yes to things that you should be doing, that you should be enjoying, that would be fun. Just this past week, I was at an event, a holiday event with a powerful group of women. And we were all charged to manifest, in just a couple of quick sentences, what we expected in 2025, or not what we expected, what we were hoping for and what we were going to manifest. So not just dreaming, not just, I'd like to live in a castle on a hill and weigh 20 pounds less without changing my diet. Those are called dreams. Sorry to crush you on that one. But if you really do want to live in a castle, I'm starting to explore real estate listings for castles and trying to figure out how I'm going to finance. I am manifesting a 6-figure business that I am going to build using my talent for fill in the blank. So truly manifesting success, not dreaming. And then there was that, what is the one thing you're going to let go of that's keeping you from achieving that success? And each woman shared their vision with the group, and time after time, people said they were going to let go of their fear. A room of 20 women heard it 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 times. Fear. So many of us are bound by our fear. So I challenge you, take that fear and let it go. Write down the word fear on a piece of paper and then set that baby on fire and let it go. We're in Arizona where it's very dry and there's a high fire damage. So please do this in a very safe place. Maybe a nice little steel bowl on your back porch where there's no danger of embers flying anywhere, because you don't want to spread that fear. You just want to get rid of it. Release it, release it, release it. So you might be asking, what did I manifest? And what am I letting go of? What I manifested is that I've created this podcast, and I really don't know why. I felt called to share these messages, that there were other women out there who needed to hear it. And so I've told people it's my field of dreams, had this podcast. Now, if you recall in the movie The Field of Dreams, the man plowed his cornfields, his cash crop that really just barely paid the bills, but they did pay the bills. He plowed it under to create a baseball field because he heard a voice. He felt he was called to do it. It was insane. His family thought he was crazy at first. Slowly but surely, his wife started to believe him, and so did his daughter. And he found other followers. And eventually, the path of why he was doing what he was doing was revealed to him. So I am manifesting that in 2025, all of you are going to help understand what the goal is with the imperfect prophet. Why did I start this? Who am I helping? Can we come together and have group activities? Can we travel together? I'm not sure yet. But that's what I want to discover. That's what I want to manifest 2025. I want our community to grow and become stronger, which is why I constantly beg of you, please, if something I say makes you think of someone else, please tell them about this podcast. Please teach them how to listen to podcasts, because believe it or not, a lot of our peers, my peers, whether you're not my age or not, but I know my peers, a lot of them say, how do you listen to a podcast anyway? So if you're enlightened enough to be listening to the podcast today, please share not only the message you're hearing, but how you receive it with somebody who needs to hear it. And then you can help me manifest what I want to manifest in 2025. Now, the backside, what am I letting go? This starts with a conversation this past week. A friend of mine quoted to me Clint Eastwood from a movie in the 1970s. And Clint Eastwood said, man's got to know his limits. For some reason, that just hit me wrong. And I turned and I looked at my friend and I said, yeah. And a woman's got to know she's limitless, because we've heard it over and over again. A man will wake up one morning with absolutely no skills and say, I'd like to be president of the United States. Not that I'm looking at anyone in particular, or a senator, or the CEO of a company, or whatever. Men are raised to have the audacity to think they can do whatever they want, whether they have the skills or not. Not all men, but a lot of them are. And women historically have been shown to say they don't ask for the promotion because they don't think they're ready if they haven't been recognized. They don't ask for the next opportunity because they don't think they're ready, or they're going to get the master's degree. They're going to get this. Somebody else is more qualified than I am. So we let opportunities go by. We need to know that women, the part of our species that run the household, that make sure everyone's fed, make sure everyone's dressed, make sure the bill's balanced, make sure the plumbing. What women take care of makes a CEO of a company look like a wuss. We manage entire armies of people, and it's not on our resume, and yet we have those skills. So what I needed to let go of is limits. And if you've seen the recent movie Wicked, which I've seen it twice, I have to admit, I'm a little bit of a junkie. I love musicals. We've also discussed that. But I want to be like Elphaba. I want to be limited. Go listen to the song, sing it at the top of your lungs in your car, and choose to say yes this coming year. Choose to say yes to opportunities. And if you're not quite ready, say, I'll give it a try. I've told you before, I don't understand basketball. But if somebody says, I want to take you to a basketball game and explain it to you, I am in like Flint. I will be there. If it's a Sun game, I'm going to be wearing purple from head to toe, girl, because I look good in purple too. But I'll be there. I'll cheer. Tell me why I'm cheering. Tell me what just happened, because honestly, I won't know. There's racing back and forth. I don't understand it. But if you explain it to me, all of a sudden I'll understand basketball, and I can be really cool on that one too. That's one of the things that I'd like somebody to explain to me. Also, I live in Arizona and I don't play golf. I know. It's just nothing I was raised with. My first husband attempted to teach me golf one day. Went out with he and one of his best friends. We were still in college, I believe. We were young. It was a drizzly, wet day in Connecticut. And I was not really good. Oh, I'd never played before, right? So how am I supposed to be good? But the number of times they have to go, let's just call it 25 and move on. And I'm cold and I'm wet. Why would I think this is fun? Why would I ever want to do that again? So if somebody out there is brave enough to try and teach me golf in a place where the sun shines and it's lovely, I'll take that invitation. So start saying yes. And you can let them know that this is not your wheelhouse, that you need to learn, that they need to help you learn. Say yes and ask for help. What a thought. Asking for help. Yeah. Remember, we don't need to be perfect the first time we do everything. As a matter of fact, if you are, you're creepy. We don't have to ever be perfect at everything. We could just have fun. Have you ever had those disastrous times? Oh, let's look at the Pinterest fail. You got to make that cake that you saw that's gorgeous, that thing, that holiday decoration that the person who did it in the YouTube video did it in 15 seconds and with a gun and 3 things they bought at the dollar store. And suddenly it looks like it came out of Givenchy. Yeah. Never happens, does it? Right? But when you do that with people that you can laugh with, which for me is my daughters and some of my good friends, we will end up laughing until we are weeping. And by weeping, big tears, boogers, snots, snorting. You laugh so hard and there's so much fun. It's not attractive, but once one person does it, everybody loses their minds if you're hanging out with the right people. If you've never had that happen, please look for more people that have fun. Learn to laugh. If you're hanging out with, let's say they're Vulcans like Dr. Spock who never laugh, you need some different friends. I love my Vulcan friends because they'll get you out of a jam, but do not rely on them to ease your soul. Because remember, what are the three things that have true physical release? Laughter, dancing, and sex. Get out there and let your body do things. Stop staying home because you're afraid. Stop staying home because you're afraid of the budget. Stop staying home because who knows why you're staying home. Start saying yes. And one yes will lead to 10 more yeses. Because if you're going golfing, you're going to meet other people golfing. And those people might have other interests. And they'll say, hey, I have Suns tickets for Sunday night. And then that golf game could turn into my golf to my basketball realization. So it all works out. The more you get out, the more things happen, the more it grows. It's like investing in yourself, right? If you don't put money into investments, your investments aren't going to grow. The old joke, the gentleman walking down the street says, Lord, would it hurt to let me win the lottery? And all of a sudden, here's a booming voice come down from the sky. Hey, buy a ticket. If you're not buying a ticket, if you're not joining in, great things aren't going to happen for you. Ed McMahon is gone. The Publishers Clearinghouse is not coming to your door to make all your dreams come true. You need to step outside. So start your year of yes and have a very happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. However you celebrate it, stay hydrated, take good care of yourself. I know I have to put that in there too, even though I'm drinking my coffee that might have laced eggnog in it. But I'm still drinking lots of water. As a matter of fact, I fill all my water containers first thing in the morning and drag them around with me until they're all empty. So stay hydrated, keep putting some healthy food in, cut a few of the snacks out or share them, have a happy holiday, and start saying yes. Say yes to opportunities, which in many ways is saying yes to yourself. I'm Wonder Wendy. I'm an imperfect prophet, but I've got a message that I want to share. And I hope you're sharing these messages with your friends and teaching them how to listen to podcasts. Until next week, have a day full of wonder, a week full of wonder. Have a wonderful week. And I'll talk to you soon.